Hey everybody, this is Alan Fine, and I'm here with Donovan White, Director of Tourism for the Jamaica Tourism Board. And we haven't talked since, I don't know, the conference for the Caribbean. Yes, yeah. But we're here now because actually I feel guilty. These guys have hosted me to come and see how the hurricane recovery is going, and I don't see any evidence of a hurricane. So but we're going to talk about an update on Jamaica and how they managed to pull through here on Insider Travel Report. So thanks for talking to us.
Great to be with you, Alan.
I interviewed Robin Russell, president of the Jamaica Hotel and Tourist Association, and he told me how prepared Jamaica was. So I've already heard a little bit of what you're going to tell me. And my conclusion based on that talk was that if you're going to get stuck somewhere with a hurricane, Jamaica's the place to do that. So let's talk about tourism resilience and preparedness and the Jamaica people themselves.
Well, let me first of all say, Alan, that we have been and continue to be very fortunate. These climatic events have not been easy on the Caribbean, and Jamaica has, I suppose, been spared a number of blushes as a result of, I suppose, geolocation. The most recent event, named Beryl, really came very close, but still didn't come on island. So we give thanks for small mercies where that is concerned, because it could have been so much worse. The tourism product coming out of COVID, resilience has been really our backbone in terms of being prepared, being innovative, thinking outside the box, thinking quickly, thinking on our feet, and putting things in place that makes for the continuation of the tourism trade and for visitors to come on island and feel safe and feel like they are, really not in jeopardy. That's been the hallmark of our recovery plan for major events. In the case of Hurricane Beryl, the things that we had no control over took its course. I mean, light poles went down, power went off, trees came down, which caused other kinds of disruption. But what we were able to do is to mobilize various different teams before the storm, during the storm, and after the storm, to work with the various stakeholders to make sure that power was restored within a reasonable time. Most of our tourism products are powered by generators, so they didn't necessarily lose power to their guests in all areas of the hotels and so on. So we've been looking at how we continue to augment the destination in various different ways. That doesn't happen overnight. But what has happened is COVID as an event itself helped us to be resilient for other types of major events like these. And so, we work with our partners as best as we can. We keep the message very straightforward, very simple, clear, honest, truthful. We speak to the media when the media asks for comment. We don't shy away from our situation, and we just try to keep it as brisk as possible to make sure that people have the information they need and they can make decisions.
So the second and third things were shut down, but by the fourth, people were coming in. And in the first week, I read you got 55,000 visitors.
Yeah, when you have events like these where the country has to declare a national disaster for readiness, then things like your airports and so on are going to be closed. So we lost airport access for 2.5 days. We lost something in the region of about 143 flights over that period. We estimate we may have lost about 21,000 visitors from arriving during that period. But immediately following, the planes came in, and the planes came in full. So we were able to rebound, fairly rapidly. We won't make up those numbers that we've lost during the storm for the month of July, but we anticipate a very robust August, and September is looking very promising right now.
And the damage was mostly in the south. The mountains covered the north. Do you have anything to say about that? And is everybody back up online?
Not everybody is back up. The south, as you said, took a bit of a brunt of a hit because of how the landscape of the island slopes. So St. Elizabeth, Mandeville, Negril, Westmoreland, those parishes, Clarendon, had somewhat of the brunt of the storm in terms of the winds, the rains, the floodings. But again, the communities that are around these areas have been extremely active. They've been very busy, very active, we have guests on island who have gone into some of these areas and offered support in terms of, helping, doing little things, offering financial help, all kinds of different things. So Jamaica is that kind of destination where we have a very communal tourism industry. We speak with our partners almost every day, and we mobilize help where we can find help. And we have guests that come on island that fall in love with Jamaica and want it to remain pristine. And so anything they can do to help, they do to help. We had a team from a group from Canada here last week called Helping Hands, who come to Jamaica every year, at least 3 times a year, to build schools or to help to restore schools. And they were here last week working on a school in Montego Bay. So it's that kind of support system that the destination has been able to build and benefit from over a number of years. And we feel very gratified that there are people out in the world who want to see Jamaica thrive. And, we make it available. They support, we support them. And it's a handshake agreement.
So now, but the hits keep coming. You get a lot of practice, unfortunately. There'll be more, I'm sure, and I'm glad you're prepared. But as I said, the hits keep coming. And so now, is the U.S. government's warning a renewal of an old warning, or is it a new warning? And basically, how should travel advisors frame discussions of Jamaica with their guests?
The travel advisory is not a new warning, and it's not an upgrade. In fact, in some instances, it might be seen as a downgrade. So these warnings, as we've always said, they're periodic. They are updated every quarter, and nothing has changed. In fact, if you read the warning that came out in January and you read this one that's been recently updated, you'll see that the language and the information that is conveyed is significantly less impactful than before. And that's because we've done a tremendous amount of work in the destination to improve and to change the narrative around some of that information, and to work with the State Department and the U.S. Embassy in country to ensure that we're all on the same page and we are delivering on the expectation of the United States visitors in the face and realm of the State Department. Our teams have been extremely aggressive where that is concerned in terms of understanding what is required and ensuring that we meet those expectations. And as a result, we've managed to have the information that is conveyed demonstrate that we are ready and continue to be ready to receive visitors in Jamaica.
Is there a travel warning against Jamaicans coming to the U.S.?
No,
just to put it in perspective.
To put it into perspective, there's so many things happening in the world, my friend. Jamaica continues to be paradise in relation to when you contrast some of the events that has happened in the last 30 days in other parts of the world, including the United States. But it's the nature of the business. We understand it. We can only do or have control of the things that we have control of, and we can only fix those things. And we've worked hard as a destination and as a government to ensure that we put the necessary things in place to guarantee, or not to guarantee, but certainly to make sure that every guest that comes to Jamaica feels safe, firstly. They are secured in their presence here, and they have a seamless movement opportunity in and around the country.
We're going out to now we're up to 127,000 travel advisors. I would say, do you have any final words? But you've already said some great words, but do you have anything else you want to just tell them?
What I will say to our travel agents is, you know this destination, you know the work we've done with you and continue to do with you in terms of providing information and making sure that the destination meets the standards that we've set over the years. That has not changed. That will not change. In fact, it will only get better. And so we look forward to our travel agent partners continuing to send their business to Jamaica, and not only send your business to Jamaica, but ensure that anything you want, if we are outstanding on anything with you, reach out to us and we will ensure that we cover those gaps for you.
And that URL is Visit Jamaica?
Our URL continues to be visitjamaica.com.
Thank you for telling us all this.
No problem at all.
And this is Alan Fine for Insider Travel Report.